Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati
Swapadantikam
Vandeham Shri
Vandeham Shri Guru
Shri
Shri Yuta
Yuta Padakamalam
Padakamalam
Shri Gurum
Vaishnavam
Vaishnavam Shri Rupam
Sagrata
Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam
Sakiva
Sadvaitam
Advaitam
Sarvabhauma
Savadutam
Jana
Parijana
Sahita
Sayatam
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Devam
Deva
Shri Radha
Ni
Krishna
Radha Krishna
Balaram
Padam
Sahagana
Lalita
Lalita Shri
Shaka
Vishakha He
Hey Krishna Guru
Krishna
Vishnu
Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate
Jagate
Gopesha
Gopesh
Gopika
Gopika
Kanta
Kanta
Radha
Radha Kanta
Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana
Kanchana
Gauranga
Gaurange Radhe
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu
Rishabhanu
Sute Devi
Sutadevi Pranamami
Pranamami
Hari
Hari
Priye Uchakalpa
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Turudrashta
Kripa
Vipa
Sindhu
Sindhu Vacha
Vacha Pitanam
Adi
Pavanebhyo
Bhavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namaha
Namah
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda Shri Advaita
Advaita Gadadha
Gadadhara Srivasa
Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for joining in and giving your precious time to us. Prabhuji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 2, Chapter 6, and the text for today is text 42. Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances and Danvat pranams from everybody who have joined the group and are about to join. Prabhuji, how would you like us to proceed? Would you like us to read the Sanskrit and the text, or would you?
Please, if you would.
Indulekha Mataji, would you like to read the Sanskrit? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please kindly accept my humble obeisances, O Guru Shri Prabhupada. Yes, give me 1 second. Let me, which one is it? Tell me please.
42, 2642.
2642.
Adhyovatra.
2642. Can you give me 1 second, please? I'll just get my glasses. Sorry for that. Sorry. 42. Okay. Achyuvataraha purusha parasya kalaha swabhava tadasan manascha tadmanascha
Pravyam vikaro.
dravyam vikaro guna indriyani virat swarat pansnu charusnu bhumaha pumnaha. So you want the word-to-word translation also? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Adyaha. Are you going to repeat, please?
Adyaha.
Okay. First. Avataraha, incarnation.
Avataraha, incarnation.
Purushaha, Karanar Vasayai Vishnu. Karanar
Vasyayi Vishnu.
Karanar Vasaya Vishnu. Yes. Parasya of the Lord,
Parashya
the
of
Lord.
the Lord,
Kalaha time,
Kalaha
Time.
time,
Swabhava
Space.
space,
Swabhava space,
Sat result,
Sat
Sat
results,
result.
Asat cause,
Asat
Asat
cause,
cause.
Manaha mind,
Manaha mind,
Manaha mind.
Cha also,
Cha
Cha
also,
also.
Dravyam elements,
Dravyam
Dravyam
elements,
elements.
Vikaraha material ego,
Vikaraha material
Vikaraha
ego,
material ego.
Gunaha modes of nature,
Gunaha
Guna
modes of nature,
modes of nature.
Indriyani senses,
Indriyani
Indriyani
senses,
senses.
Virat the complete
Virat
whole body,
Virat the complete whole body,
whole body.
Swarat Garbhodakshaya Vishnu,
Swarat
Swarat
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu,
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Sthasnu immovable,
Sthan Su
Dashnu immovable.
immovable,
Karishnu movable,
Karishnu
Risnu
movable.
movable,
Bhumnaha of the Supreme Lord.
Bhumnaha
of
of
the
the
Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, purport also by Srila Prabhupada Vijay. So,
Vijay.
Karnar Navasyasi Vishnu is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is a master of eternal time, space, cause and effects, mind and the elements, the material ego, the modes of the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. So shall I continue with the purport also?
Yes, if you like.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Purport that the material creation is not permanent has been discussed many times herein before. The material creation is but a temporary exhibition of the material energy of the Almighty God. This material manifestation is necessary to give a chance to the conditioned souls who are unwilling to associate with the Lord in the relationship of loving transcendental service. Such unwilling conditioned souls are not allowed to enter into the liberated life of spiritual existence because at heart they are not willing to serve. Instead, they want to enjoy themselves as imitation gods. The living entities are constitutionally eternal servitors of the Lord, but some of them, because of misusing their independence, do not wish to serve. Therefore, they are allowed to enjoy the material nature, which is called Maya or illusion. It is called illusion because the living beings under the clutches of Maya are not factually enjoyers, although they think that they are, but illusioned by Maya. Such illusioned living entities are given a chance at intervals to rectify their perverted mentality of becoming false masters of the material nature, and they are imparted lessons from the Vedas about the eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Vedes cha sarvair aham eva vedyah. So the temporary creation of the material manifestation is an exhibition of the material energy of the Lord. And to manage the whole show, the Supreme Lord incarnates himself as a Karanar Navasyasi Vishnu, just as a magistrate is deputed by the government to manage affairs temporarily. This Karanar Vishnu causes the manifestation of material creation by looking over his material energy. So etc. In the first volume of this book, we have already discussed to some extent the explanation of the verse Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam. The duration of the illusory play of material creation is called a kalpa. And we have already discussed the creation taking place in kalpa after kalpa. By his incarnation and potential activities, the complete ingredients of creation, namely time, space, cause, result, mind, the gross and subtle elements, and their incarnation, interactional modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then the senses and their reservoir sources. The gigantic universal form as a second incarnation, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and all living beings, both moving and standing, which come out of the second incarnation, all became manifested. Ultimately, all these creative elements and the creation itself are but potential manifestations of the Supreme Lord. Nothing is independent of the control of the Supreme Being. The first incarnation is a material in the material creation, namely Karnarar no Vashai Vishnu is a planetary part of the original personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna described in the Brahma Samhita as follows. Yasyai kaniva satikalam athavalambhya jivanti loma vilaja jagatandanataha Vishnur mahan sa iha yasya kala visheshu govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. All the innumerable universes are maintained only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu, or Karanarnavashai Vishnu, who is only a plenary part of Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for having me with you. I'm very blessed and fortunate to have the association of devotees. So we're continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, which is entitled Purusha Sukta Confirmed, and we're almost at the end of this particular chapter. So the verse again, Karanarnava Shai Vishnu is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is the master of eternal time, space, cause, and effects, mind, the elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of the Lord, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. Does anyone have any questions at this point, having heard the purport, or any comments?
Prabhuji, I have a question, if I may. So we know that Mahavishnu is the same as Karanadaksha Vishnu. Am I correct in that thinking?
Yes.
And then just by the glance of Mahavishnu, the Pradhan gets agitated. So then where is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? Is it before the Pradhan or after the Pradhan?
Afterwards, because he lies down in the bottom of the material manifestation, the top of the Garbhodak ocean. So first there has to be the universe, one of the universes.
So then,
of course, he is eternal, but he becomes manifested at that time, manifest himself.
So after Karuna Daksha Vishnu, then Pradhan will be agitated, and then you will have all mind, intelligence, ego, and all that form, and then Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Any other comments or questions? So we are,
Hare
all of
Krishna,
us, we are
Prabhuji.
very,
Hare
yes.
Krishna. Prabhuji, I'm a bit confused now because first of all, we have the first Mahavishnu who appeared, who is Karanadaksha Vishnu. Then he creates the total material energy, right? And then when he creates the total material energy, that is inert. Everything is inert, is non-moving. Please correct me, Prabhuji, if I'm wrong. Anybody who's there, please correct me. right? So they are not moving. That is a pradhan. Pradhan is there, it's not moving, right? And then
Yes.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters in all the universes that Mahavishnu has created. Mahavishnu, when he's breathing, many universes have been created. So then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he enters all the universes, right? And then he creates diversities in all of them. And then there's a Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. He spread himself as a Paramatma, as he diffused, in all the pervading, like our super soul, Paramatma. So there's all three manifest together, one after the other, because I think after Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, which Vishnu? No, I think it's the Mahavishnu. Yeah, Mahavishnu, when he looks at Pradhana, then Pradhana become agitated, become manifest, right? So they are created one after the other, or they are created simultaneously. How are they created, these three Vishnus?
As far as I understand, the timing may be so quick that
Yes,
it's a moot
yes,
point, whether it's
yes,
instantaneous or it's
yes.
10
Thank
trillionths
you.
of a second later, but the
Yeah.
sequence is there. That first
Yes,
Mahavishnu, then
Mahavishnu. Yes.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then
Thank you.
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So we are very fortunate to be in this line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. We all know, or we may know, that this ISKCON society, it is not new. It is new in the sense that perhaps there's temples of Krishna all over the world where there were not 60 years ago. But we learn from Bhagavad Gita that this Krishna Bhakti is eternal, that it was originally instructed to Manu, and it came down to Vivaswan, and it's eternal. We are eternal, and Krishna is eternal. And this ISKCON society, it is propagating Krishna Bhakti in the line of this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. There are four sampradayas of Krishna Bhakti, which are all teaching Krishna Bhakti and in service to Krishna. So we have the Madhva Sampradaya, headed by Lord Brahma, the Rudra Sampradaya by Lord Shiva, the Sri Sampradaya by Mother Lakshmi, and Nimbarka Sampradaya, headed by the four Kumaras. So these are all genuine lines of spiritual teaching, genuine lines of Krishna Bhakti. So Goddess Lakshmi, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Brahma, they are the four not present in this material world, so to speak, founders of these sampradayas. And then on this planet Earth, there's Madhva Acharya, Srila Vyasadeva instructed Srila Madhva Acharya, and from Madhva Acharya, so many other pure devotees, down to this Lakshmi Pati, and the disciple of Lakshmi Pati was who was the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri, Madhavendra Puri. So so Lakshmi Pati, then Madhavendra Puri, and Ishvara Puri, and Lord Nityananda and Sri Advaita Acharya. So in this way, this ISKCON society, through our ISKCON founder, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Gauraka Shordas Babaji, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the way back through the Narottam Das Thakur, Lokanath Das Goswami, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Sarup Damodar Goswami, and the six Goswamis. We are all connected through to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Most of the spiritual masters in the line of Madhvacharya were present in South India. Udupi in South India is the original center for Srila Madhvacharya for his teaching. And he established, I think, 12 or 18 monks, which are still present in different places in India. And a big branch of that Madhva line is the Gaudiya Vaishnavas of Jagannath Puri and West Bengal and Vrindavan, Sri Vrindavan Dham. So this is our sampradaya through Madhvacharya, Srila Vyasadeva, Narada Muni. Srila Vyasa was the disciple of Narada Muni, who is, as we are hearing right now, the son of Lord Brahma. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavadinaya, Krishna Prem Pradayate, Krishnaya, Krishna Chaitanya Namne, Gauratashe Namaha. In the mood of Radha, Srimati Radharani, in the combined avatar of Radha and Krishna, Lord Chaitanya appeared to Krishna Prema Pradayate, to munificently distribute love of Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, to everyone. And one specific quality of our Lord Chaitanya and this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, it is especially, Lord Chaitanya is looking especially to deliver not the very qualified Brahminical people, not the very qualified religious people, wealthy, aristocratic type of persons. But Lord Chaitanya is in the mood specifically to deliver the most fallen. The more fallen, the more qualified we are, really, to receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Namo Mahavananaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratashe Namaha. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram, the five members of the Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas, dancing and chanting and distributing transcendental love of Krishna all over India, especially West Bengal and in Vrindavan. And Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they both went on pilgrimages all over India, inspiring Krishna Bhakti, blessing others with Krishna Bhakti. So this is sometimes it is upsetting to those who are stuck up or who are proud of coming from a very good family, a good background. We're very religious people and we're very good people. We don't ever do anything bad. So sometimes such people, they get a little proud of their family and their religiosity. And they get upset that how can it be that these people can be considered elevated devotees of Krishna? In theory, they don't come from a good family. They're not like us. How can they go to the head of the line in front of us or become equal to us? They don't like that idea sometimes because it is a matter of prestige that our group, our neighborhood, our family, we are so good and others are not so good. And a very puffed up kind of consideration. But Lord Chaitanya, he came to, of course, we all know, or most of us may know of the caste system in India. And it is greatly abused, although originally it was very good system of organization, but it became politically and emotionally abused to control others and discriminate and to maintain this attitude of us and them and we are better than those. It's just emotional, mental issues, actually, poor mental health. Actually, many times people who are arrogant and proud, they actually low self-esteem or this bodily concept of life because we want to feel power. So in the bodily concept of life, whoever is stronger, more handsome, more beautiful, has more money, more knowledgeable, anything more in the material world, of course, is an opportunity to feel superior. I have a master's degree, you don't, I live in this neighborhood, you don't. Our sports team is better than your sports team. Anything to feel superior. We see that this is part of the everywhere in this material world. People everywhere. It doesn't matter the country or the city. Uh, so many just always looking to be superior. It seems to be an instinct of us humans to want to be the best, better than others, or in other words, to be God. I am the best. I am powerful. I don't have any problems. You go into a hospital room where someone is ill or had some accident. How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm okay. God forbid. Or in the workplace, someone comes in. Oh, how was your weekend? No one, well, sometimes they do, but most of the time, oh, good. It was good. Yeah, everything was nice. Yes, we enjoyed ourselves. No one wants to admit uh, how much they're suffering, how much they suffered, what difficulties they are. Usually, among friends and relatives, we share. But among strangers, usually we very careful to not show any defects. Some countries are more, uh, at least my experience, especially in the UK, God forbid anyone finds out that something is defective in my life or I have some asthma. God forbid anyone in the office knows I have asthma. Why? We're such tiny little specks. We're so imperfect because we want to be God. So as Srila Prabhupada writes here in this purport, the material creation is a temporary exhibition. The material manifestation is necessary to give a chance to the conditioned souls who are unwilling to associate with the Lord and the relationship of loving transcendental service. Such unwilling conditioned souls are not allowed to enter into the liberated life of spiritual existence because at heart they are not willing to serve. Instead, they want to enjoy themselves as imitation gods. The living entities are constitutionally eternal servitors, but some of them, because of misusing their independence, do not wish to serve. Therefore, they are allowed to enjoy the material nature, which is called Maya. It is called illusion because the living beings are under the clutches of Maya, are not factually enjoyers, although they think so. Such illusioned living entities are given a chance at intervals to rectify their perverted mentality of becoming false masters. And they are imparted lessons from the Vedas about their eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. So this is the root of all of our suffering, wanting to be God. at some level, wanting to be successful and powerful independently of Krishna. And we see in this world, uh, this is what is going on. Of course, there are religious people who are trying to uh, be awake to Krishna, but there are so many others who could care less about God and just trying to uh, be enjoyers. I am the Lord of all that I survey. Everything is for my enjoyment. I will try my best to enjoy according to my plans and succeed. But no one succeeds. No one really succeeds. Even someone is able to get good job, good salary, good house, everything. And then they're kicked out at death. And they have to uh, go on to the next life. Just kicked out, just flicked off the stage of life. There's so much suffering. So the solution is here. Uh, we are given a chance at intervals to rectify our perverted mentality by uh, having lessons from the Vedas, learning about Krishna, how we're not God, how we're not superior, supreme, and reviving our attitude of service. It is just like, uh, I'm sure in Kenya, as there are all over the world, there are perhaps in the government, the prime minister, wealthy people who have servants, cook, and people who take care of the garden, and drivers, and valets, nannies who take care of the children, different servants in the household. So the situation is that the servants have revolted and they want to be in charge, they want to be the master. Actually, many many those who are engaged in those kinds of services, often they have comfortable life. They live on the grounds, on the estate, and they have their quarters, and they're safe, and they're protected, and they have good food, and everything is actually pretty comfortable for them. But they get this itcha dvesha. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to cook for the master. I want to be the master. I want people to cook for me and do my clothes and drive me around. I want to be the big boss. Of course, being the big boss is bothersome, really. You become in charge of some big company or barrister. There's so many headaches. And then the lawyer or the doctor or the politician, they have material body too, and headaches and stomach aches and arguments with a husband and arguments with a wife. It's just miserable. They may have some power and some money, but they're suffering. They're suffering too. But there is this illusion that if somehow I could just have more power, more influence, more money, then everything would be good. Even if it is, it's temporary. Um, so we are not meant to be here. That's not who we are. We are subordinate to Krishna. We're subordinate to God's energy. Um, if someone doesn't like the idea of God, then we can say that, well, forget this word God. But I think you can admit that we are under control. Whether you use the word God or Krishna, forget that. We can't do what we want to do always. And so many times our plans are stopped. Things happen that we don't want to have. We're not in charge. We're just under the control of higher forces. Use whatever word you want. We're not God. That's the point. We're not supremely in control. And so to learn about, to wake up is to accept this. Mamai Vamsho Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatana. That I'm just a tiny little part of God, and my only business is to act for His pleasure, which will give me pleasure, um, and to go home, just to give up this uh, this attempt to have an independent life of Krishna. This is our disease. As Lord Chaitanya has taught, Chaito Darpana Marjanam Baba Mahadava Nivarpanam, that this chanting of Hare Krishna, this glorifying Krishna, it will take this bad desire out of our heart to avoid Krishna and to try to be like him. So Lord Chaitanya has come with the medicine. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the transcendental doctor who has come to cure us. We have this disease, just like people get mad after smoking, isn't it? You see, I know people, they have cancer, they have lung cancer, stage 4, and they're still smoking. They can't stop, some of them. It's horrible, right? Haven't, at least I'm sure we have heard about that. People who are addicted to drugs and addicted to gambling, and they're obviously suffering, but they can't stop. How horrible. How horrible is that? Those kind of addictions. How frightening. You know that this thing is killing me or making me broke, bankrupt, or whatever it is, on my way to jail. But I can't stop this mad desire. So how wonderful it would be to have that taken away. So that is this Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam kalo nasteva nasteva gatir anyata. That by glorifying Krishna, by hearing the glories of Krishna, Shrinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Ridyantasto Abhadrani, Vidanoti Suritsitam. And what's that verse that we sang before Srimad Bhagavatam class? Who knows that? Nasta Prayeshu. What is that verse?
नस्तप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवते सेवया भगवतीर्थं श्लोकीर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी.
And what is, do you remember the verse, at least in summary?
We
What
have
does
to
that mean?
recite Bhagavatam every day, so that it will remove all our impediments.
Yes. Srinvata Swakata Krishna. Punya, Shravana, Kirtan. That just by hearing, we don't even have to understand it. We simply have to listen. We just have to give our ears, give our time to listen. Srinvata Swakata Krishna. Punya, Shravana, Kirtana. There's so much pious credit uh, just by hearing about Krishna. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It cleanses our mind of all these evil desires and awakens transcendental love of Krishna. Isn't it? This is our main line, this Harinama. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Bhajet. That in this age of Kali, it is a very difficult time for spiritual life. So many obstacles. Manda Sumanda Matiyo, Manda Bhagya Upajata. We are struggling, all of us, to one degree with a shorter life and less mental strength, less physical strength, and tendency for laziness. It's not a good time to make advancement in spiritual life by previous methods. But Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parambraja. But there's one good quality about this age of Kali, that if we take shelter of this Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, glorifying Krishna, then gradually all the unwanted things, the bhadras in our heart, will be removed and will awaken in love of Krishna and be able to go back to Godhead. We cannot go where we don't want to be. If we don't like Krishna or if we don't really care for him, then how can we be with him? It's impossible. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has very mercifully come. We know in his later stay, his transcendental Leela here in Jagannath Puri, he was sending out the devotees, Lord Nityananda, all over Bengal, and the six Goswamis to Vrindavan, propagating this Harinam Sankirtan and distributing transcendental literatures. So this is our ISKCON society, encouraging everyone, including ourselves, to take advantage of this Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, and as Srila Prabhupada writes here in this purport, that it is only by reviving our love of Krishna that we can return home, back to Godhead. Now, one thing about that Kirtanadeva, Kirtan, not just to sing, but the idea is to glorify. Of course, what is that? That Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, that the holy name of Krishna and Krishna Katha, the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is spiritual sound. And whether we understand it or not, or whether if we simply hear the sound, we will become purified. But to the extent that we have an attitude of glorifying Krishna, praising him, not just mechanically, like we could train a parrot to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That'd be a very fortunate parrot. But even that mechanical gives benefit. But the next level is to have this attitude of glorifying Krishna. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitayata, Jagaditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. You are an ocean of mercy. Dina Bandhu, the friend of the poor. Jagatpate, the Lord of creation. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Dina Bandhu Jagatpate. Gopisha, the Lord of the gopis. Lover of the gopis. Radha Kanta Namosuste, who's very dear to Srimati Radharani. So this attitude of glorifying Krishna will accelerate our progress tremendously. So Srila Prabhupada was asked that what do we think about when we chant our japa? And he said, just listen, don't think anything, just listen. And then automatically you will remember something about Krishna. And he also instructed us, as Lord Chaitanya instructed us, that there is a mood of chanting that we can make an effort to have of calling out to Krishna, just like a child calls out to the mother. That Ayi Nanda Tanuja Kinkaramam, oh son of Nanda Krishna, please pick me up from this ocean of birth and death. I can't do it myself, and place me in your service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Please pick me up. I can't pick myself up completely. Please help me. And any mother, of course, helps her child. Any father helps their children. So this attitude of calling like a child, and then also just glorifying. We have at least two main attitudes or moods. One is calling for help, and then the other is just to glorify Krishna, saying nice things about him, which may be it may seem a little artificial, but we should do it anyway. Just like one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that, when I bow down, I don't feel like it. I don't feel anything. So, well, you just do it anyway, and then the feeling will come. So it's just like when we see children learning to walk. Uh, the ability is there. They just have to kind of go through the motions, isn't it? They just have to make believe they're walking, and then the walking will manifest. It is there. So in the same way, our love of Krishna, it is there. Same thing. And if we just go through the motions, we practice. So that is this attitude that when we have kirtan, we try and have this attitude of glorifying Krishna, praising him. And we'll accelerate. Because what is that? Patram pustam palam toyam yome bhakya. Krishna doesn't care so much for the pronunciation and the different tunes and who can play the mridanga expertly. That's nice. But what Krishna wants, of course, is our heart, is our genuine feeling, and that will attract him to us quickly, even if I don't want to say fake it or make believe, but perhaps a little bit to push ourselves. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of the fruit vendor in the Krishna Lila. Uh, Maybe some of you know this, that when Krishna was just very small, so there was one woman and she had fruits. So she was walking through the neighborhood. Does anyone want fruits? So Krishna came. And of course, he did not have any rupees or anything. But he came with, some, I think it was what, rice, grains of rice in his hand that were falling through the cracks of his hand. Little cute boy. And he said, "Oh, here, Mata, you take this." And she offered him, she was not too business. Oh, you don't have uh, 10 pence, you don't have money. Go away, ask your mother for some money. But she said, "Oh, okay, yes, I'll take that." And she gave him fruit. So she was not thinking, "Here is God, let me serve God." She just thought, "Oh, just some attractive, cute little boy." But then she looked in her fruit basket and there were jewels. Krishna reciprocated with her feeling. Also, Putana. I mean, that's if we want some encouragement, sometimes we think, "Oh, I'm so fallen. What am I doing? I'm not really much of a devotee." But look at Putana. She came to kill Krishna. That was her plan, to kill him. And Krishna's so nice. He thought, "Well, she's acting like a mother. Okay, I'll see that. I won't see." But he did kill her. But he also, so this is a nice person that even we make some mistake. Uh, even parents with the children break something. "Oh, you broke this thing," but what are you going to do? Beat the child? So you give the child a hug and say, "Be more careful, don't do that. Have a biscuit." Because of love. You love the child. So Krishna, he loves us. He loves us very much. He's not some cruel person at all. Not even an ordinary father is cruel. How could God be cruel? Uh, Sometimes we think so many things. Krishna doesn't care for me. I'm so bad. Really? You're as bad as Putana? Well, Krishna forgave Putana, you see. So uh, even as described, I read about the kindness of Krishna, that the demons in the heavenly planets, they're demigods and there's demons. The demons don't lock their doors. Thinking, "Oh, Krishna's going to come and kill me," because they know that as long as I'm not doing something this minute to hurt someone, Krishna's not going to. Krishna will let me be. They know that about Krishna. He's not. looking for an opportunity to hurt anyone. He's looking for every opportunity to help everyone. Karuna Sindhu, the ocean of mercy. Govinda, the pleaser of the senses, the cows and the breath. Look, 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 look. The murderers are drinking water. They're breathing the air. Krishna does not deny them. There's such a complicated web of karma in this world. Animals, snakes, scorpions, they're having their food. People are allowed to live. What to speak of us who are on the path of devotion? We should be a little more forgiving of each other and forgiving of ourselves. And Krishna's not that we take advantage. So much love, really. So much love. So we'll stop here. Any comments or questions, some discussion?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for today's session. We have 10 minutes, Prabhuji, and if there are no one with a question, I can ask again for a clarification. Are
Yes.
there any questions not relating to today's topic, but Prabhuji, the three potencies of Krishna, the Alhadini, the Samvit, and Sadhini. Prabhuji, I still need clarification of the other two. Alhadini, I understand. It is the pleasure potency, it is Radharani. But the other two, I don't understand. I know it has been equated to Sat Chit Anand, but maybe probably we can start with Sat and Chit. What is Sat and Chit? And then maybe I might be able to understand it.
Yeah, I'm the last person to ask about that. But I have heard from higher authorities, so I can try and pass that along. So we have the Sandini potency and the Samvit potency, as you said, Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has explained this with reference to the Vedic scriptures described in the Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana. So as you say, the Ladini, the ability or potency to enjoy pleasure, potency. And Sandini is the very existence, the stuff of creation. And Samvit is knowledge, the potency of consciousness and awareness and knowledge. So the Sandini is the spiritual world and also the material elements that we're hearing about here. Ladini, Sandini, Samvit. So Lord Balaram is described as actually, I don't want to say in charge of the Sandini, because Lord Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna, but it is through Lord Balaram that everything is there, that there is anything. It is from Lord Balaram ultimately that we have Karnadaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu. We have Lord Balaram, we have Baladev and the Chaturvyuha, and then from them an expansion of Narayan and Mahanarayan and Sankarshan, and from Lord Sankarshan in the spiritual world, Karnadaksha Vishnu, who is generally described as an expansion of Lord Balaram. So Sat Chit Ananda. So Ananda, we know, is bliss connected to the Ladini Shakti. And Sat, sometimes Sat is translated, or the definition of Sat is eternal, but also that which exists, like the chair that we're sitting on, or the couch, or the flat that we're living in, the land, the earth, all the planets, is Sat, all that exists. Om Tat Sat. and Samvit, the knowledge, potency. So different categories of Krishna's energy. Is that how? So Sat Chit, Chit is consciousness. The spiritual world is made of Chit. It's made of knowledge. It's made of consciousness. And Ananda, bliss. Ananda Moy, Vyasa. All of us, we are tiny little specks of Sat Chit, and an eternal knowledge, full of bliss. So that's me, and that's you. That's who we are. Little tiny sparks of Sat Chit Ananda. Is that helpful? Or we can discuss if someone else has heard something?
So Prabhuji, just again, the clarification on the same. So Samvit is the knowledge and consciousness. So this is Krishna's potency, so Krishna's knowledge about everything, or is it our knowledge of who we are?
It is all knowledge. Krishna is made of knowledge, eternal consciousness and awareness, and we are eternally have a speck of consciousness ourselves. It is eternal knowledge. We're just giving labels, the material elements, the pradhana, the three modes of material nature, the specific forms of the modes of nature. That is part of Sandhini, not Samvit. And then the consciousness is of the Samvit potency and Ladini. We all have this ability to enjoy and desire to feel enjoyment, to feel happy, Ananda.
So
Whether in the
Sandhini,
spiritual world or in the material world. He's the professor at the college is showing a spark of, special some bit. They have so much relative knowledge.
so Sandhini, is it material? Because it is
Well, it's
just as
you think like a stand, like a flower pot, rest upon a stand, perhaps on the porch. It has our Tulsi. Usually, we don't put her on the floor. We put her on a small table, a stand. It rests. So Sandhini is the resting place. It's a resting place and everything that exists. So Lord Balaram is described as the support of both the spiritual world and the material world. So it's the support, the substance, the Sandhini potency. That's what I understand.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for that clarification. Any other questions or comments from the group?
Or about anything.
If there are no questions or comments, maybe can I request Prashanta Atmadas Prabhu to, can you please end this session for today? Hare Krishna. Maybe Prabhu is not able to unmute. Okay, yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvasana, please accept my humble apologies. Sorry, I usually look when I was just listening in. I'm at the temple, so I was just listening. So, thank you so much, Dina, Sharana, Prabhu, for the wonderful session. The other day we had Bhagavatam class in the morning, so maybe I just mentioned that we are also told that the Hiladini potency represents Srimati Radharani, and the Samvit and Sandhini potency is Sri Balaram. So I guess that's also a way to classify it. represents Shri Balaram. So it's good that we've clarified or we revisited the topic once again for greater clarity. Thank you so much, Dina, Sharana, Prabhu. Thank you for today's class, and thank you for all the devotees, for everyone giving a valuable time to come and be together and be together in this Sangha, give each other association and learn more and more. I wish you all a wonderful Ram Navami this coming week. I wish you all a wonderful celebration and the blessings of Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi, Sita Ram. So thank you so much. I'd request all the devotees to please unmute and chant the Hare Krishna mantra in glorification of His grace, Dina Sharana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Kripa Sindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnavin ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Dina Prabhuji ki jai, Eldoret Yatra ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Jai Hare Krishna. Jai Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. I look forward to seeing everyone again soon.
Hare Krishna.
Be well.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.